what exactly is real estate investing and why do people do it all the time?
What does it mean for your money to grow?
So this is a first here on the real estate mix. So Omar, we have some young people in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. And I know that you and I always talk to my son who's 16.
Yeah.
And you have your nephews that are just getting into these fancy colleges and high schools and all that good stuff.
High schools, yeah.
High schools. So we are super excited to have real questions live on the real estate mix about real estate. So we have Brendan, who is 12. And he's going to talk to us about his real estate questions. And we have Harold, who is 13, who is going to talk to us about his real estate questions. And Harold, I know you brought some future tenants with you. Did you want to introduce us to the guy right here?
Oh, he's okay. He's just holding the microphone.
Okay, awesome. So who's going to go first? Brendan, why don't you go first? What's your question?
Okay, so my first question is, can you tell us about different ways people make money from real estate investing?
Ooh, Omar, that's a tough one.
There's lots of different ways. Where do I start?
At the beginning.
So there's two main ways you make money in anything, right? You buy low, you sell high. What's an example of that in real estate?
You buy a house for $100,000 and you do what to it? You make it better,
Yeah.
and then you sell it for $300,000.
So that's one way. Buy low.
So what'd you make? Bought it for 1, sold it for 3. What'd you make?
200.
All right.
200,000. That's one way to do it. All right, Harold, what's your question?
Yeah, so how can kids start saving up to invest in real estate when they're older?
Ooh, I like that question.
Good question, so you can answer that.
Well, first of all, you should get a bank account. Okay, so talk to your mom or your dad and say, I want to open a bank account, because that's a good place to start putting your money. And I'm not talking about the piggy bank that's in your room where your older brother's going to come in and, steal a quarter out of it each time when he wants to go buy Chipotle. We're talking about a real bank account. So you have a bank account, you can do chores, you can do clean the garbage pails or whatever, and try to get money from your parents where they can give you a little bit of money each week for chores. And then as you get older, I think you can start working in New Jersey when you're 14. Go out there and get a job and make some money, and also put that money in your bank account. Now, that's going to be the slow way to make money, because you're going to have to build that salary as you get it from these jobs over time. It's going to take a long time to get a down payment. So one of the cool things that you do you ride a bike?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're out riding bikes, okay, look around and look at different houses and see what houses look ugly or look like they haven't been taken care of, or where there's big piles of newspapers on the front lawn. And come up with ideas of where you see people may want to sell a house. Then have one of your parents find somebody who's involved in real estate like we are, and you could take that idea and you could call Omar and say, Omar, I have this opportunity. I'm going to get you leads and get you properties where maybe it will sell. And then Omar will come to you and say, hey, look, for every lead you give me, I'm going to give you some money as a reward for helping me find an opportunity. So that's a way for you to make some extra money too. What do you think?
I think as a kid, you shouldn't be saving money to buy a house.
Ooh.
So I understand why you would do that, but I think you're too young. And right now, your earning potential is very low, right? So until you start earning money, you shouldn't be saving. So whatever money you make right now, you should reinvest it into learning more and becoming just better at working and learning how to make more money.
Okay.
Then when you make some decent money and learn some basics of investing, then you should start saving. So right now, work, get a good work ethic, learn how money is made, and then as you get older, you'll make more money, and that's when you start thinking about saving.
Okay.
That's a different perspective than what I had, but I agree with him. And you could use that money that you're earning to buy books. So, or for instance, there's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is the first book I read when I was about 19 years old.
Yeah.
So, and that teaches you the aspects of real estate that I think are important for investors. So, as Omar said, start educating yourself. Come on shows like this where you could ask questions. Watch podcasts where you can ask questions and learn about real estate. And just learn. Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, Brenny, what's up? You got another question for us?
Yeah, I do.
All
So my next question is, are there any risks in investing in real estate? How can we make sure we're being safe with our money?
Ooh.
There's risks in everything, and there's lots of risks in real estate, yeah. How do you make sure you're safe with your money?
Real estate, I think, the word real estate they should just change it to risk. And
Yeah,
that's
risk
the
management is what
risk
it is.
management. There you go. I mean, everything's risky. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you walk down the stairs, you could trip on a sock and fall and break your foot, God forbid. So there's risks in everything. Real estate definitely is an area that has lots of risk. As we told Harold earlier, educate yourself, read books, understand what you're getting into. You know, just like if you're going to go and you have a math test, what do you do before the math test? You study, right? And you prepare yourself for that test. You learn all the different aspects. You try different problems. So you know when the time comes and you have to perform, you already know the answer. So the same goes for real estate. Go and watch what other people do. Watch podcasts, watch YouTube videos on how to flip a house if that's what you want to do, or how other people do investments. Just start learning. Make sure you know all the ins and outs, know the vocabulary of real estate. And if you can do that because you're only 13, if you could do that for the next 4 or 5 years, by the time you're 18 and you can get your real estate license and really get a professional license that gives you some extra info, you'll be ahead of everybody else and you'll be able to start investing there. But there's always risks, so it's really just minimizing them by understanding what do you have to lose. So if you're investing $10 into something, really you can only lose $10. So it just depends on knowing what you're buying, what the possible areas where you're going to lose money are, and making sure that you understand that. And as you get older, you'll start to figure that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Harold, what do you got for us? You got another question?
Yeah. What exactly is real estate investing, and why do people do it all the time?
Ooh.
Well, most of the time.
So real estate investing is putting your money into real estate and hoping that it grows, expecting it to grow, right? Every investment is an expectation that your money is going to grow and you get more money for what you invest in. People like real estate because it's tangible, meaning you could touch it, you could feel it. It's known, it's had a long history of performing well, and it's got a lot of benefits for people who want to build wealth. So it's a
True.
good source to make your money grow.
So in real estate investing, what does it mean for your money to grow?
Ooh.
To make more money from your money. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you had $50?
Maybe a month ago?
Did you spend it?
Yes.
So you don't have it anymore.
No, I don't.
So as you get older, you don't want to spend all your money. You want your money to grow so you have it coming in, right? So you have to invest it into something that helps it grow. Helps that $50 become $100. So real estate investing is one tool people use to put their money into it and have that money become more money over time.
Without going away. So when you buy a Taylor Swift album, right, and you have that album doesn't increase in value usually. When you buy a piece of real estate, it usually increases in value. Plus, because if you rent it, it generates it. You can charge rent to people so that money comes to you. So you're making money on the money you already put in. And what's great about real estate is if you rent a house for $100 a month to the tenant that's living there, and the mortgage is only $50, the mortgage is what you had to use to pay the bank to get the house. So you have a $50 profit. You can now take 25 of those dollars, put it back into the bank to grow your money, and then have an extra $25 left over to go buy more Taylor Swift albums. So it's really cool.
So if you didn't invest in real estate, you'd put your money in the bank, right? Now the bank, your money is going to sit there. It's going to grow very little by little. And people want their money to grow a lot. So what you do is you look for a good investment that helps your money double, triple, etc. Real estate's one way to get that done.
So are you saying now that I'm young, or like when I'm 18, I should invest in something to make my money grow?
Unless you want to have $50, spend it, and have no money on a
Yes,
regular basis. You
that's
don't
what
want
we're
that.
saying. Okay, so if I said to you, you're going to become a real estate agent in 5 years, is that something that would excite you or not really?
No, probably would take more around like 10 years.
10 years. Okay, what do you think, Brendan? How many years for you to buy a property?
I think that in the span of 5 to 10 years is a good starting point.
Okay. And do you want to buy a house when you get older?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And Harold, do you want to buy a house?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, we hope that you guys can bring us more questions in the future. We'd love to hear from your friends. If you have friends out there that are into real estate or have questions about real estate, have them come on our podcast or send us questions, and you get the questions, send them in, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Thanks for watching this episode. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And we'll see you next time.